take
Most banks, if it's a credit card, will protect you.
Yes, and their point has been is if the bank doesn't, they will pick it up. Their second point has been...
Here's the next point. The banks are going to sue them. That's where this is all.
But guys, you got to give Greg credit. This is every CEO's worst nightmare.
Yes.
And Greg is the most customer-oriented guy I know. I served on the board there when he was in management for 12 years. Yeah. And he's trying to do the right thing.
But they were saying he's not.
All I'm saying
is the cost of this. If he's now saying that he's going to limit everybody's liability across the board, and he's saying...
this is what they've said from the beginning. They've said from the beginning that...
It's a very high-integrity thing to do.
If the banks don't cover you, they will.
I'm not saying
what happens with the banks, I don't know.
It's the right thing to do. All I'm saying is, A, you have the possibility of the banks going after you. B, now, we had 40 million or 50 million before?
It was 40 million credit and debit cards.
70.
But I should also, wait, before we say that, though, it's 40 or 50 million credit cards, but what they had said, it was an incredibly small percentage of those that had actually been ripped off. Right. Just because you've been exposed doesn't mean that you've necessarily had any charges or anything that's been taken from that.
Just think this through. If I'm an individual who's been at the store and they took my information even though I wasn't there that weekend, or whatever, the days of the actual days.
It was from the
and
day
then I get a
Thanksgiving
phishing scam.
December 15th.
Then somebody takes my email and it's a phishing scam, and I can connect it back to Target. And even if I make the error of actually clicking on it and I get a virus and now expose myself all over again, guess who I'm suing? Or guess about the class action lawsuits? I'm just suggesting to you that, look, he's doing all the right things. I don't know where the stock is right now.
I don't know why you don't know where it is. Bring it up. Bring up the stock chart.
This is one of those things.
Can I tell you what the 120 to 130? Can I just tell you, get this in, that 124 is where analysts are. So it was 150 to 160. Analysts came down to 124, and now they're saying 120 to 130.
In the middle of the range where
right. The stock was all the way down at 61.5. It's back to 62 at this point, and it's been bouncing. I mean, it was quite a bit lower than where it is right there. So the 120 to 130 is not a shock to where the street is right now.
Let me tell you, this is important too. They've had meaningfully weaker than expected sales since the announcement, but they have shown improvement in the last several days. So I wonder if this was something that was sitting in the holiday season. Are consumers coming to the other side of it? They say that they have a comparable sales decline of down 2 to down 6% for the remainder of the quarter. We should also point out that we're going to be speaking with Greg Steinhoff. We'll get an exclusive interview that we'll bring to you on Monday morning with much more on this information. You make some good points.
Yeah, and Andrew, everything you're saying is correct. So the question is, if you want to play it for the short term, you cut these things short, but he's playing the long term. He wants Becky Quick to come back into his stores.
And that's hugely important. I mean,
that's his future. Right. If you don't go back, you're his target market. I can tell you that.
Target. Both of us shop there on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Do you have children?
Yeah, and
you buy your children's clothes there?
I buy all kinds of stuff. I can't get out of Target without spending hundreds of dollars.
And that's the key.
Joe said his wife was on her way there yesterday.
No, I bought some pajamas there with little booties
really?
yesterday. Yeah, and the little butt thing.
Yeah.
But it is a huge issue. There are two perspectives to look at. One is the consumer perspective. How do you win back their trust and keep them coming to the store? The second is from the investor's perspective.
Guys, this is Jim Burke all over again. This is the test.
J&J.
And he may pay a price, just like Burke played big liability suits, but you have to do it because your customers are all that matter.
What was that Bible quote? I didn't hear it. What was the gist of the Bible quote that she said?
It was about fires burning.
Okay, because someone sent in another one. You said you can find anything. Thessalonians 3:10. For even when we were with you, we commanded you this: if anyone will not work, neither shall he eat. Anyway, you can find anything.
At any point you want. That is the